Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Puck Boys podcast. To my left, I have a man by the name of Colin Dalkey. And to my right, I have a man by the name of Marcus. How you boys doing?
It's cooking good looking.
Why didn't I get a last name?
Oh, better kept. Honestly, I panicked. I was going to say Dalks and Coos, but thought I'd do the actual names in case people don't know. And myself, Devin.
Hey, Devin.
Hey, guys.
Devin Prout.
So, how's everyone doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
This is like one of the first Super Bowls I haven't drank for in a while. I'll be totally honest. I felt refreshed.
I was
Monday.
going to ask about the Super Bowl hangover. Anyone?
Nothing.
like
Dude,
an
I
report?
was.
Fun fact, I've never drank at the Super Bowl.
What?
I've never drank at the Super Bowl because every time I've been like 18,
That's like part of it.
every time I've been 18, it's been like at Aaron's. It was like I was driving or whatever. So,
Okay.
yep.
This-
Usually just there for the food.
Well, to be fair, like
Fair.
this year was a lot different because normally I'm getting into like a group of 20 guys and like 3 girls and going in a basement and watching the game.
So like
and it's-
every time we go. Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. And then this year it was a lot smaller. Like it was just me, Connor Martin, Liam, Crystal, and
Myself.
Dinger. Yeah. But we watched at Connor's house. It was a little bit more like a birthday thing, and like his
Oh.
mom came out with like lasagna and like garlic bread, and she's like, "Yeah, guys
lasagna.
can dig in. We got some birthday cake for later." And we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yummy, yummy.
Not opposed.
dinner and a show."
Not opposed at all. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
it was good stuff.
I brought potato skins thinking it was like someone bring something and
Yeah, because that's what
yeah.
Super Bowl normally is.
We
It's
didn't
like,
end up
yeah, everyone
making
brings
them.
a little bit. Yeah, but we didn't even make those, did we? No. Okay,
I'll
that's
just
what I
make those
thought.
tomorrow or something. It's so good.
But yeah,
That's
it was Super Bowl it was interesting,
It's a pretty boring game, though, overall.
dude.
They were trying to say at the end, it was like, this was so exciting and all that, like, because they're announcing.
They're like, it's a defensive game. You gotta respect it. You
Yeah,
gotta
it's
like
like,
it. And it's like, I don't have to like defensive football.
Amen. That's exactly what I wanted. Just, you don't. I'd rather a high scoring, like 45 to 44, or honestly,
Everyone
a blowout,
likes
like-
that more.
Of course, everybody does. But can't always get it.
I'm just really wish the Patriots hadn't won. I'm
Yeah.
honestly a little like
Over it.
I'm still sad. I'm like
Still.
he's the and then like I'm just and going through my head again. He's the greatest. Yeah, he is. It just
solidifies
it bums
even
me
more.
out.
Yeah.
It's like
The thing is like his legacy is so great because he's dominated teams like the Finns and the Bills and the Jets for so long.
he's
So
not-
it
and
says
he's
more
not-
that they've just been so bad to not even put up a fight for division titles for 2 decades.
And it sounds like he's playing again next year, and Gronk doesn't look like he's going to retire either. So
Gronk, I think, is a little bit more up in the air. I could see him. I think he has a better chance retiring than Brady for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
well,
too.
Brady came out last week and said he's for like no matter his line was
He
like
says he wants to play to 50 though. So who the
Zero.
hell knows? Like,
but
yeah,
like a week ago he said I
Okay.
want to play next year, no matter what happens in the game. So sounds like the Dolphins are gonna. But we already went. I don't know if I mentioned this in the podcast or not, but it was reported that Miami wants to go after a quarterback in the 2020 draft. So not this year's draft, but like they're planning for the draft in a year and 3 months.
I was reading something actually because they just hired the
Defensive coordinator from New England.
and they said that with him they're looking at getting rid of Tannehill for this year and letting him pick his quarterback for next year, whether that be like a Foles or drafting a rookie.
Could be Alex Smith. He may get cut out of Washington.
I don't think he's gonna play again.
I think that's why they might cut him, but I think he'll get signed again.
Nah, we'll see. You never know, but
One thing I'm
It
kind
looked
of
pretty
worried
bad.
about Brady, honestly, like I think he should just leave it now, because like I hope he doesn't get injured and then like is like here on the brink, kind of like coming back, not coming back, and then like that's kind of how he ends his career.
the thing is that he's still so good to the point where like you're not even seeing a decline yet. That's why it's okay.
Yeah.
Until he
that is
starts
true.
like actually doing.
There were signs of decline this year. He was not as good as he was last year. This year.
Well, I had him in fantasy, so I'm aware.
Okay.
But like,
Jesus.
oh yeah, it was and then me. Oh my god, he cost me my. Doesn't matter. Anyways, I still think he's definitely still got game. He can still do it for at least a couple more years. I still believe.
And how old is he right now?
42.
42?
This year he'll be 42, I believe.
Jesus.
That's insane.
I
That's
love it,
insane.
though.
The fact that you're playing a professional sport at the age of 42, which I know baseball sometimes is like older, but
It's one thing to
It's
say
not
that.
as
It's another
physical.
thing to say that it's been football. Like the career span for
Yeah.
football players is less than.
well, quarterbacks sometimes get up there. Like you look at Favre, you look at those kind of guys. Like they're usually pushing up to like high 30s.
That's not your average,
But yeah,
especially not your average 7th round, 199th overall
yeah, exactly.
QB making it till he's 42 is.
I thought the whole Edelman thing was cool too, about how he's like come about. It's like he played high school and then like didn't get a scholarship and then played quarterback in college and then
Julian Edelman has solidified himself, and there's a hockey comparable someone made to Julian Edelman today, and I thought it was the most dynamite comparison of all
Is
time.
it Justin
Justin
Williams?
Williams. That's
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. I knew. I was.
Yeah,
I think.
okay.
I think I might have said
The
that
playoff
yesterday. To
performer.
be totally honest,
yeah.
I might have said that at
'Cause
Connor's
he's-
house because
he's-
I was thinking the same thing.
Bang
I
average
thought that
in the regular
yeah.
season.
Yeah.
But then
You want him on your team, but you also aren't scared of him. But then come playoff time, it's just like,
what the hell is this guy putting in his cereal in the morning?
I had it more in like Danny Briere territory because like I think Edelman's still like good in the like he's still like a very good player in the regular season, but playoff come around and he's like really sick. I think that's more like Briere. Like Briere's a better player than Williams in the regular season and
Edelman is now
Beast in
second.
playoffs.
Edelman is now second in all-time receiving yards for playoffs.
Wow,
Yeah,
I did not
Who's
read
first?
that one.
Yeah,
I saw
Who's first?
Gronk had the
I
most
know who's first.
receptions in a
Okay.
Super Bowl. I saw that stat.
He's got the most Super Bowl receptions of anyone ever,
Yep,
like
by
career.
a tight end. By a tight
Oh,
end.
by a tight end.
Sorry,
Okay, that makes
I have to
sense.
throw that out there too. Sorry, my bad.
Because it's the guy in first is Jerry Rice.
Yeah,
and
Jerry Rice,
but
yeah.
he's got like 1,000 yards on Edelman.
Yeah, he is like it's insane. One stat that I saw though was someone bet like $250 that the Rams would only score 3 points.
Oh my
One
god.
guy, he walked away with $100,000.
What?
He took the super mega
Yeah.
ultra under on the Rams, which was 3 points apparently.
3 points and won $250 he put on it and won $100,000. And think about the last field goal kick that he was done. Like if they
Yeah.
hit that field goal, it would have been done, and that was not
Oh, well.
too long of a field goal. Like well,
Oh,
actually,
well.
it was, but that's insane. Just toss up a Hail Mary and like. The fact of like how much money like university students and like we're kind of making, it's like $250. Like $250 is like a good amount of money. It's like why the fuck would you do that?
Because of the off chance that it
Yeah.
happens and you can walk away with,
Only in a Super Bowl.
I don't know.
You guys ready for some Super Bowl stats?
I wanna
just-
hear some Super
I
Bowl
literally,
stats.
I literally just looked this up, and it says here are 10 incredible stats from the Patriots win. One of them was 2:08, which is the amount of time it took for Tom Brady to get his first pass picked, which came at that time, and it was the third fastest interception in Super Bowl history.
Okay.
Yeah. Rob Gronkowski with the 18 catches. I think I said that one not too long ago. 9. The Patriots and Rams finished the first 15 minutes tied at 0-0. It was the 9th scoreless first quarter in Super Bowl history. Let's see. 7, which is significant because the Rams were the first team ever to punt on their first 7 possessions of a Super Bowl, which might be one of the...
They did it in 8 straight, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
The thing says 7, but... All right, well, maybe it was 8.
I think it was
Uh,
8 because they were remember he circled 8.
I thought it was 8.
Something with
I thought it was 7. Okay, anyways. 26, the Rams tallied just 26 yards on the ground in the first half and finished with 62 in the loss. And they averaged 139.4 during the season per game.
So less
So they
than
got
half
less than
their
half.
average.
Yeah. 11, Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman pulled in 10 catches, 141 yards in the victory, and became the 11th player to ever record 6 or more receptions in multiple Super Bowls.
wow.
So that's kind of playing
That's
into
kind
that
of a
whole
cool stat,
Edelman,
yeah.
legacy. 65, which I know this one, is Johnny Hecker tallied a 65-yard punt with
The longest punt
8:36.
ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, longest in Super Bowl. The number 3, the Rams and Patriots combined for just 3 points through the first 2 quarters. It was the second lowest scoring first half in Super Bowl history, with the Steelers held a 2-0 lead over the Vikings at halftime during Super Bowl 9. That would have been so much worse. Actually, I'd way rather watch a safety than a field goal.
I disagree.
Oh, actually depends where I'm kicking the field goal, but don't kid yourself. I'd rather watch
Dude, I don't
a
know.
safety than a 30-yard squib.
I'm not sure if this is going to be on your list, but a stat I just remembered. I wanted to bring this to the podcast. I believe there was one play run in the red zone all game yesterday.
That's another one.
And
Yep. It was Sonny Michel.
Sonny Michel running it in, right?
Yeah.
Yep. That's actually a good one. The last one I had was 2, and it's the Rams became just the second team ever to not score touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Guess who the first was?
They're the only team. They're only the
Second.
second team ever to not score a TD,
Yep.
even in a loss. Like, wow, that's actually really surprising. Is it?
Well, you gotta think like it's the Super Bowl. Like the teams that are left there are probably good enough to score at least a TD.
Bears.
And the fact it's only happened twice in like 50 years, that sounds about right.
It was the Bears.
I thought it'd be higher than that. I'm guessing it's the Tennessee Titans.
It was the 1971 Miami Dolphins. Little shot.
Wait, what? Super Bowl would that be? I said 20.
I don't know.
Oh, damn. I said 25.
No, it'd be older than that. Because we just did 53, and he said 71.
Okay, well, while we're talking about the Super Bowl, how about we talk about the worst part of it? Not the game, but that thing they call a halftime show.
You guys hated it?
Oh, I thought it was garbage.
I thought it was like not bad because like the whole SpongeBob SquarePants thing was fucking hilarious. Like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But
They should have played Sweet Victory.
I don't think they have the rights to that song.
they definitely don't. But
It's not their song.
I don't know. Especially like when I saw the talents who were there, I thought it was gonna be bigger and everything. But I don't know. It was a halftime show.
I don't know. There's a lot of controversy with the halftime show this year. Apparently, a lot of performers turned it down, like Cardi B, Rihanna, to name a few.
I think Beyonce and Jay-Z also turned it down.
Well, they did it only 2 or 3 years ago,
Beyonce
didn't she?
did it before.
Yeah, but it was like recently. It wasn't a long time ago. But yeah. Anyway, I don't watch the show for the halftime show. I'm not a big Maroon 5 guy.
Yeah, that was another like.
No.
Oh, I love Maroon 5. Holy shit. They're awesome.
Not for that.
And Travis Scott have been like loving too, and Big Boy is like a classic.
Dude,
you
that
know
guy's not classic. That guy looked like such a fucking tool coming out of the car
Did you
with
know
the fur coat.
Him and Andre 3000 were Outcast.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's where Big
Yeah,
Boy's from.
yeah.
Yeah. I did not know that until
Okay.
I did not know that until yesterday. I
It's
looked him
okay.
up. I was like, Big Boy. I was like, he must be from Atlanta, right? And then like that's why he's performing, and that's where he's from.
Yes.
And they should have just gotten Outcast. That would have been sick.
I don't think anyone's heard of Andre 3000 and
No one does. Like neither of them had very successful solo careers, but
Andre 3000 did, and Big Boy just
But-
came out with a great new
dude
album.
was the freaking he was coffee blocking and semi-pro.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, he is. One of the greatest of all time.
so we're talking about having good careers, and you reference semi-pro
Yes,
Yeah.
in terms of success.
that's a cinematic.
It's a
masterpiece.
cult classic, but it does not have like worldwide success.
Suck my cock, I'll murder your family.
The best scene in that
Honestly,
whole
really
movie is
I
that
said SYC.
I barely raised my voice.
the best scene in that whole movie is the jive turkey scene,
Oh,
where
so funny. Oh my god.
Just call me a JT.
You show me a JT?
No, pretty sure he called you a
No,
cocksucker.
he's not a cocksucker.
if no one out there haven't seen semi-pro,
Highly
smoke a
suggest.
little reefer and enjoy it, because it is not worth watching sober, but
If
it
you-
is
I
a
was gonna
great
say, if
movie.
you're between the ages of like
If you're-
15 and 25 male, you don't need the reefer. You will love it.
Quick cue for you guys
Give her.
relating to this is probably gonna be my last point about the Super Bowl, just in general, but it's football related. It's about Tom Brady. Won his 6th title. I know it's very hard to do comparisons when you're dealing with different sports, but I'm gonna throw one at you. He's won 6. I think Michael won 6. Who in your mind is kind of like
Brady.
who's?
It's Brady. Because I think Michael Jordan, by the end, in like the next 5 years, may not be the best basketball player to ever play. Whereas I think in 5 years, there's not a chance Brady's not the best best NFLer to ever play.
I 100% agree with that. Because I think
Okay.
there's someone, LB,
I was kind of thinking the same thing. I just
or
want
LJ.
wanted to throw it out there. Well, just because there are so many individual records that you could look at Brady's and it's like, yeah, nobody's gonna touch that. Nobody's gonna.
No.
It's the difference between like I don't actually know the NBA records or stats super well. I know the NFL one's quite a lot better, but I believe if you look at like MJ's dominance in the NBA playoffs, there have been like guys like Kareem and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird who have like come in comparison to him. Whereas if you look at the NFL, it's like Brady's been to 9 Super Bowls, and I think the next best quarterback's got like 5 starts or maybe 6 starts, and he's got 9, and it's just like he's
Yeah,
what,
6 for 3 ain't bad.
His
Or
dominance
6 and 3,
is-
sorry.
yeah
is-
he's got the most
you
Super
haven't
Bowl. I
seen-
think he's got the most Super Bowl like losses as a starting quarterback too, and
Yeah, probably.
like
Wouldn't doubt it.
it's fucked.
Yeah, 3. Holy shit, yeah.
I don't know. There's a chance someone else has got a bunch, but I don't know.
But that's
who.
just so hard to top. Like, who the hell's gonna finish?
Second that many times.
Yeah, second in 9 years. Like, that's not gonna.
All right, this is just bumming me out. I want to change subjects.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. How about we start poking fun at Devon? Because Montreal Canadiens played the Oilers this weekend.
Can we not do that? Can we just start
Why
with
not?
how? Can we start with Jets?
Okay, well, I'm just gonna throw 3-2
Yeah, fine. Fuck.
overtime. Actually, I think it was 4-3 in overtime.
I don't know what I'm more mad about. The fact
totally
that
forget.
you were like rubbing it in my face, or the fact that Edmonton lost back-to-back games in the third period.
Yeah, they
Back-to-back
blew
games.
both.
When they
yeah.
had the lead, right?
They played the Flyers. They were up 4-2, and they lost 5-4 in overtime. And then they were up 3-2 against Montreal and lose. Or sorry, up 2-2. Sorry, fuck. Up
3-2. They were up 3-2 in the
did they
game.
lose 4-3?
They lost 4-3 in
That
OT.
what it was? Okay,
Yeah.
I was right. Sorry, I thought the game ended 3-2.
Yeah.
And like the thing is, I had to go to Canland to go watch hockey like at that time, and so when I was on my way there, I was like, okay, I'll catch the overtime. None of the TVs had curling, and then the pre-show for
Oh
the
my
NFL,
God.
and I was like, oh my god, this is awful. And then I just get a text from you saying like something about Duran, and I was like, fuck.
I called it too. It was so funny.
Tyler literally texted me saying, watch Duran go into overtime and score the game winner end to end. He said that
Yeah.
in text.
Like
He's
word for word.
word for word.
Yeah, and that's
I was
exactly
like,
what he did. It was sick.
My God.
And that Kotkaniemi, he had his best 2 games on the weekend.
Yeah, I thought he looked really good out there.
Yeah, and he was running the peeper. They put
Yeah,
Druin
he
at the
was.
top of the
He was. Yeah.
at the top, and they had Weber in the OV spot, and they had Kotkaniemi on the other side, and I was like, because he doesn't really have the best shot.
But
Like
he
it
can
takes a while for him to get it loaded, but like it's got like enough power on it. It's not
Yeah,
bad,
yeah.
and he can dish the puck. Like you never really know what he's gonna do because he kind of looks like
That
he has
was-
no idea what he's doing. But
His
fake it till
goal-
you make it. Am I right?
His goal was one of the most like nicest like in tight hands play I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was
Him,
forehand to
like,
backhand to the freaking water
Roof
bottle.
to the-
Yeah, he shelved
and
it.
he
It was sick.
Oh, it was so nice.
It's also
it was so
funny
hard to
whenever he
see.
scores because he just got that stupid fucking smile, and it's just so funny.
He looks like he's 12.
Yeah, I know. I love
He
it.
does not look over the age of 12, and I'm sitting here making a podcast talking about him.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I thought his goal. He only got one against Edmonton, right?
Yeah,
He
got
got
That-
one
that-
on
that
Edmonton. And he
backhand-
got the one on New Jersey.
the
He
back
scored in
the
each.
backhand shelf on
Yeah.
Edmonton. I thought that was a really slick goal. Just really clever. Like to know Costin wouldn't be on the post there really quickly off the back wall.
Not your fault, guys.
The other thing with him though is if you watch how Montreal like plays him, he's almost always out with the same guys like Lehkonen, Armia, Byron. Like those are the 3 guys he plays with most of all, and those are also probably your 3 of your best defensive forwards more or less. So you're kind of learning from the best, which I also
hate-
kind of like.
I hate the fact that Armia is actually doing decent.
Oh, dude, he's been like really good for the
I
Habs.
absolutely hated him in Winnipeg. And
What?
What? I know we
Boo.
knew. I know we did
I think
this.
I think we
but
yeah, we
yeah,
already
how
addressed
did
this.
you not like Armia,
I don't know.
man?
I just didn't like him. I hated how he played. And then
You didn't
he
like
went to
a-
Montreal, and I was like, good. But he's actually doing good in Montreal, and I hate it.
Big body can kill penalties. He's also got some sick hands. every like once in a while he'll do like a Toei.
That's all he has. Every like
He'll
5
skate.
games,
He'll go flying in the corner and he'll just do this nasty ass Toei.
yeah.
And
That's
it's
all he
like,
does.
you know what? That's pretty cool.
Once every 5 games, and that's all he had.
But then he gets the takeaways too. Like I don't know how you can hate Joel Armia. I'm sorry.
hate him.
The only thing is the people in Montreal, they're calling him Joel Armia.
I heard on the broadcast,
And I'm
Joel.
And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like,
Joel?
no, this is so.
Dude, he's one of those
I
guys.
don't know whether he corrected people to make them pronounce it like that, or whether people are just
Going
still
rogue.
botching it. But Jesus,
Yeah, fuck. Call him whatever you want. Just go rogue.
but yeah, now they're sitting in a playoff spot. I know you guys didn't want to talk about Montreal that much, but fuck it, I'm going to because they're ahead of Boston. And you know what? I thought they were gonna lose their spot to Buffalo like down the line, but now we're getting into it. We're at 50 games ish. Montreal is 8 points ahead of Buffalo,
That's crazy.
and Buffalo's in 9th.
Yeah.
Like it's not that like I'm expecting it to all go wrong because it's never lasted this long. It always
The wheels fall off.
yeah. In January it looks like we're not gonna make it, and then January we went 7-3,
Yeah.
and it's
that-
like what? And then Carey Price is throwing up sick numbers, except for the game against the Oilers where he led in 3, but that's fine
Yeah.
because your team scored 4.
That's and I'm like kind of looking at Edmonton. It's like Edmonton's still there, and that's why like losing games like that. It's like you get the extra point in both of those. They're only 1 point back right now, and it's like now the fact that they're 3 points back. It's like
You're screwing yourself so hard.
it's like
right
yeah,
now.
it's like the fact that you guys. It seems like they're not even passionate about it. It's like they're 3 points out of a playoff spot, and they've lost like so many. I think they're probably 2-8 in their past 10. Like it's awful. It just pisses me off so much that the fact that they're losing these leads. It's just so heartbreaking, and I just
The West is way more exciting in terms of how
Oh, yeah.
this race comes.
exciting's not the right word. It's more sad that there's still
Yeah.
so many teams that are in it,
honestly,
but
yeah.
they're all so they're
No
all
one
bad.
wants. No one wants the spot.
And like if you look at
That's
each
what it
team,
seems like.
no one wants.
if you
the
look at
spot.
each team, they've all probably gone through a streak where they lost 7 straight.
Well, right now, Edmonton,
Like if you look at all of them, I know Vancouver lost 8.
Well, I don't know. Minnesota started hot, so they've been a little rusty since then. Colorado's been shaky. St. Louis started so shitty. And then it's Arizona, Edmonton, Anaheim, Chicago, LA.
Yeah, I
So-
guarantee you Edmonton has lost 7 straight.
5.
They lost 5.
They lost 5 in a row.
Dude, literally the only
Oh yeah, they've lost 5 in a row now. Yeah.
Chicago's actually not like they're
Okay,
they're
do you
not.
want to start talking about Chicago, dude? If they keep playing their cards right, I don't think they're totally out of it yet.
They
they're-
are. They,
Like
They're-
I believe in them more than almost every team in that Pacific, even though they're not
Hey.
like 5 points down or whatever. I'd like Vancouver more than most. I think Vancouver will be that last team to make the playoffs.
Dude,
But I think Chicago will finish with more points than 2 of Arizona, Edmonton, and Anaheim.
yeah.
They'll beat both. They'll beat 2. They're
could
not going to
see
be a
that.
bottom.
I don't
They will
think
not be
so.
a bottom 3 team in the West.
If Kane keeps on this pace-
Patrick Kane is the best player right now. He's been the best player for the last 2 months. I saw a stat. He had 40 points in 18 games.
Oh, I want to talk about that first of all.
40 in 18, and in his last 6 games, he has 3 of them. He's had at least 4.
Okay,
Also, a 10-game point streak. Like it. I don't even know how
he
he does
got
it.
third star of the month.
How does that work?
Johnny Gaudreau got first. Kane has 21 points in, I believe it was 11 games,
Oh, fuck me.
10 games maybe.
mm-hmm.
Johnny Gaudreau has 1 more game played and 3 less points. He had 18 points in 1 more game played, and he was first star.
Yeah, because Goudreau gets wins. Goudreau will get probably more wins.
Well, I guess that's
I'd,
it.
I'd wonder what the plus minus was over that time. I wonder what the difference was.
That's the only
Yeah.
thing because like on the NHL Network thing, it was like they only showed the points in games, and
Yeah.
it's like, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, that makes literally no sense, and everyone in the comments was like,
Nope.
this does not add up, guys. Like,
Because it shouldn't go off if your team won the game or not. If you
Yeah,
get
it's
the star
basically-
of the
it's
week,
a-
it should just be or star of the month.
Oh,
or whatever.
100%. I agree with that. I'm just
So,
saying
yeah,
that
plus
you know what
minus
that
must be the-
might be the determining factor. Like I don't know. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to. I'm thinking of something.
While
and
we're
people
on,
in the comments saying like, oh well, he plays with Taze and Gaudreau has Monahan. I'm like, what? Ugh, don't even get me started with comments in the fucking NHL's Instagram. It's hilarious.
While we're talking about stars of the week, though, I'd just like to give a shout out to my boy Jack Ross.
Okay, yeah, let's get
That's what I
let's
wanted
get
to
some
talk
Jets.
about before the whole fucking Oilers thing. but-
Yeah,
Went to the game.
Yeah, it was
Like,
a fucking blowout.
against Anaheim.
Yeah, lower bowl. Anaheim. I was in the Anaheim end, so I
Right.
got prime
Not a big
time
deal.
seats for 6 in a period.
I would have left after the 6-0. By the way.
Called it was gonna be 6-0 at 4-0. I'm like, we're definitely gonna get another 2, and Liam
There
just
was,
looks
like,
at me.
3
He's just
minutes
like,
left. 3 minutes
he
left,
looked
I
at me. He's like, dude, there's no way. There was like 4.5 minutes. He said, there's no way we're gonna get another 2. I'm like, well, dude, we're on the power play right now, so it's just gonna be a
That's
quick. It's just gonna be that's a lock. And then
How
two and
Gibson's
a half
playing, that's
two
a
and a half
lock.
minutes left. You know what? We're probably gonna get another one. And sure enough, Lemieux gets the wrap around, and you got the power play goal too. And it's like, yeah, that's
Yeah, that
That's
game
what
was
it
like
is.
the first period was like, wow, this is so exciting, and then it was so weird after that. It was a close game after that.
the game was over when Wheeler got that goal. Because we were riding them in their end for like 2 minutes,
Yeah.
and me and Liam were even talking about, we're like,
Holy
okay,
shit.
They
it's
deserve
not.
one.
It's like it's not even Gibson's gonna like cover the puck. The next stoppage is gonna be an Anaheim penalty for not moving your feet and tripping a guy or hooking a guy.
And being on the ice for 2.5
And being-
straight minutes.
Yeah, or it's gonna be in the back of your net. It's gonna be one of the two. You know that's what's gonna happen. We actually had bets. I bet it was gonna be Montour, and he bet on Fowler.
And who's taking the penalty?
Yeah, on who was gonna take the penalty, and sure
damn it,
enough,
Wheeler
it was
got the
neither.
goal.
It was just Wheeler scoring.
I just like to. I know we're kind of got a schedule here, but heads up from the possible hockey Twitter.
Schedule.
It is 5-1 in the Toronto Anaheim game currently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was 4-1.
there's been a bit of an outburst. Jake Muzzin has a goal on the power play and 2 secondary assists.
He does.
So I'm assuming Toronto Twitter is just like, he's the godsend. It's the Muzzin era.
my Oh, yeah.
Stanley Cup or bust, baby. Woot, woot, woot.
Carlisle gone.
Dude, I don't. At this point,
The fact that they didn't fire him after the Winnipeg game was bold. I thought he
Dude,
was
if you're
totally
gonna
gone
do it,
after
it has to be like today. It has to be tonight. You can
Right
do what
now.
Montreal did.
No,
Dude, they fired
do it like
Terrian.
Chiarelli.
They
Like,
fired
do a third.
Terrian in a playoff spot. I haven't seen that, and they
Crazy.
did that in February, and they hired Julian.
That's crazy.
So if there's somebody out there that you think is gonna do a better job than Carlisle, then I would do it.
I'm gonna make you mad right now too.
Shoot,
Kopitar has a goal.
that's fine. He's yeah,
He's on your bench.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's funny you actually bring up Jake Muzzin because I was just listening to Ray Ferraro talk about him, and he's trying to like settle Leaf fans down because people know it's like a good trade for them, but
Yeah.
I think there's some people who are thinking like, okay, top pair defenseman, that means at least 40 points. That he's gonna be great at.
But
He's
he's
great at
not-
everything. This and that. It's like, well, no, he's a
He's not
solid. He's a
that
solid
type
guy
of-
who can definitely
yeah.
play over 20 minutes and. The phrase that he used is like, on the nights that he's like really good, you're not gonna notice him.
yeah.
that's the
tho-
kind of
and-
defenseman he is.
And that's the kind of guy like that's
And honestly, I love those kind of guys.
oh dude, those are
That's like a Ben
That's-
Sherratt
that's
when
you-
he plays well.
it's
but
those
not
guys
really
that-
comparable.
make
Because
teams.
you only notice Sherratt when he gets the like one of his 3 goals on the year,
Yeah.
or when he's taken 3
'cause it's a bar-down klopper.
penalties.
Yeah, and it's like
Always.
That's exactly what it
Always
is.
with Sherratt.
And he's been playing with Riley. It's been Muzzin and Riley together, and Muzzin's been playing on the right.
No, it's been
It's Riley on the
it's
right.
Riley on the right.
They put Riley on the right.
Yeah, they put because Riley's got experience playing on the right.
Yeah, they said
from back when he was a
I
kid.
thought
Yeah.
I knew they were playing together, but I thought they tossed Muzzin on the right.
No, we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
We assumed it would be Muzzin on the right, but
Yeah.
they've put Riley on the right.
But they did, yeah, and they put Hainsey with Dermott on the bottom pair, and they just left the second.
Gibson got yanked again, by the way,
Oh my
after
God.
5.
That guy needs help. Like his team, not like.
Do you? Okay,
Literally.
I was talking and I heard another analyst talk about this as well. Do you think the All Star game actually shook him in any way? Like,
No.
Ever-
do you think
No,
7?
no,
dude,
no,
7 on
no.
9, and he was getting booed. Like the people were booing him.
See him in the K next year.
No.
I don't know.
No, I don't. No, I don't think that should get. I don't think that should get to anybody.
I'd like to think
Like
it's-
he has said no that booing is literally like it's such a joke.
It's you're in San Jose and
And-
you play for
And you're
Anaheim.
yeah, exactly. That's
You
100%
could've
what
been-
it
You could have been
is.
standing on your head and they would have been booing you.
you'd like to hope, but I don't know. Maybe Gibson's a little fragile and it's coming through.
Little bitch.
The one thing is
Oh,
like them sucking. It's making me excited because it's like you know what they're gonna do something because they
Do
can't
you
just.
think they're gonna do something drastic?
I think they were close to signing Silverberg. I think the last
Month.
couple weeks. Like I think these two back-to-back losses have like totally shit on them, because coming out of the All-Star break, they were coming back healthy. They got Patrick Eves back. They had Silverberg back. They had Corey Perry, like the guy, the big award winner, coming back. Even though he's not the same guy, but still, like in the locker room, that's got to help the guys. And they get shelled 9-3. Now they're down 5-1 with 12 minutes left.
Bold.
Anaheim is a dumpster fire.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to sign Silverberg now. I think you have to deal him because your team has so many issues.
Edmonton needs a winger.
Oh God! Actually, I'm I'm glad you're here. I was talking to somebody about. Okay, you know what? I don't want to get too.
No, let's get to it.
Montreal. Okay, you know what? The general consensus was 1-for-1. JD Druin for Nuge. That was something I was literally. I thought about it
for Nuge.
Yeah, I was thinking about that just because you know what? You got the 3 centers. You don't need them.
That sparked my blog.
Like
that sparked.
And
my
Druin
blog.
would be like that's the ideal guy you would want to play with.
McDavid.
Just 'cause it's skill and skill and skill.
He can keep up with him.
And he wouldn't. Yeah, I was gonna say he can sort of keep up. I mean,
I wonder if like Draisaitl would get mad if like Edmonton got a good winger to play with McDavid. Like his
dude,
butt
he
boy
should
kind
be
of thing, and
expecting not to play with him if he's
I
getting
hope
$8
so.
million.
then- I
If
really
you're
hope
getting
so.
paid $8.5 million, you should be able to ride your own line.
And the thing is, with the whole Edmonton playing all 3 of their centers now, they're playing McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge as their 3 centers. Their 5-on-5 play has improved so much. You were noticing that Nuge runs that line, Draisaitl runs that line, and McDavid's McDavid. He runs a team. It's honestly so surprising. And then you look at their penalty kill. Their penalty kill is what fucked them the past 2 games. Philly was 4. They scored 4 goals on the power play last game.
Montreal, worst
before
power play
Montreal.
team in the league, also scored against.
Yeah, it is. And once they scored that first one with Weber on the power play, I was like, this team, their PK. I want goddamn Mark Letestu back. He was a power play and fucking PK extraordinaire. But
Okay, not extraordinaire.
yes,
On
yes,
the keeper.
yes, both.
Yeah, I would not say he was a power
He
play
was-
specialist.
Face-offs. But anyways, it's just like it's pissing me off so much. But let's go Jets. Let's go to a team that's fucking doing good.
Okay. Sorry, I just remembered. Okay, no, I shouldn't go with where I wanted to. I'm stumbling. Someone help me! Someone help me!
Cut.
Jets have announced that their first round pick is in play.
That would be a good weird place to go with this.
So now we're getting into it's like okay.
No one's surprised by that announcement, right?
No, but it's
It's what's out there. It's
yeah,
out there.
It's
So that means like teams can.
Toronto made it available, like made it public knowledge that their first was available, and a week and a half later they had Muzzin. So
and yeah,
And what are we looking for? Third line center.
second line center.
Yeah, they said they want center depth.
Or
That was
second,
the goal.
TSN saying they're gonna take a run for a Sen,
They should.
and I'm
Mark
like,
Stone in his hometown.
Dude.
okay, all right, you know what?
Oh!
We're gonna play some fantasy GM here.
Okay, if we're playing, okay, that's where I wanted to go when I stumbled over my words was fantasy GM, but it does not involve the Jets. So, but it does involve Ottawa. So I do want to talk if we're getting into fantasy GM.
It's something along the lines of you looking at it. Okay, you know what? Here it is. Mark Stone is the guy I would want to build a team around, ideally. The fact that he's a Manitoba boy is also even better.
Oh, it tickles his fancy.
In my opinion, best defensive winger in the league,
Agreed.
who can also get around a point a game. Like he's
He's a whole package.
the whole package. He's
Yeah, he's what you want
I love
on
the
your
guy.
team.
We all know Mark Stone's dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing is he's a right winger, and we don't really need that. But we have a guy who's
that
an
guy,
RFA who's got like a stupid amount of value. He's an RFA at the end of this year. I know that obviously, dude. Okay, Stone doesn't. I know he's not signed till like past this season, but I would rather give money to Stone than give it to Line.
Are you talking about
Yeah.
a colossal? Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
Okay. I thought I was gonna have the most like pie in the sky proposal
Dude,
here,
no,
but
no, because you know what? I'm gonna even go more than that because guess what? You're throwing Duchesne the other way too. If you're gonna be getting a guy who's gonna be a rocket contender RFA, he's
every
like
year.
locked up. The other two are gonna be gone by the end of the year.
We don't have money to pay both those guys this year.
Yeah, but you're gonna win the cup.
But we don't have the money. Like, we don't have the salary
You're
cap
gonna win.
to...
We still have a.
Not with Laine's $1 million going out the door.
Yeah, you throw like a couple other guys to make the money work, but make them retain. They can retain half.
Why don't we get CC2? We'll throw them Kulikov. We'll make it even.
And Truba. Yeah, that would do it.
Jesus
Yeah, no.
fucking Christ.
No, the original.
Get-
Well, okay. The main premise of what I was saying was that Liney's been pretty inconsistent at this point, like for
always
a
inconsistent.
good part of this season, and just as far as like which guy I'd rather have between Stone and Line, I'd rather, especially if your window is right now, like if your window was looking at from 5 to 10 years from now, then I'd rather have Line, but I think Stone's the better guy for the next 5 years.
Okay.
As far as just like all around. And I know there's the rocket factor and all of that, and the fact that Stone's a UFA at the end of the year and Line isn't. What I'm saying is I think Stone would be smart enough to take a deal in his hometown and be semi-reasonable than Line. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm going to let you guys talk back to me because, you know what, I know it's insane, but I think that there's like a few points that I'm making, like it's not that bad. It's not that stupid.
I think it's a little extreme
I
in
think it's
terms
the most
of...
bold thing I've ever heard you say.
Yeah. You also have to think like what would go the other way if you're giving one of those guys. If you're trying to get one of those guys, because TSN's saying that they're trying to get them, it's like, okay, well, a first-round pick isn't going to do it. You're going to have to keep adding to that. Then you go, give Nick Patan. It's like, well, you know what? Nick Patan isn't even playing on your team. Nobody knows if he's good or not anymore.
If you're looking at the Jets, if you're going to go for, let's say, Duchesne, this is how I envision the trade going. Or Duchesne or Stone.
Yeah.
It's something along the lines of the first-round pick. It is probably Eric Comrie.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
I don't think
Yeah.
Ottawa has anything in the systems in terms of
Gustafson.
goalie. They have Gustafson?
He was the first goalie picked in 2016 by Pitt.
Okay.
And then Pittsburgh dealt him for Broussard, I think. No, it wasn't Broussard. It was... Who the hell? Oh, no, it might have been Broussard. In like a 3-person deal, but yeah.
Anyway, I think
Anyways.
it's something like Comrie, the first, and then, Patan. Maybe even it's a roster player like Roslovic. I
That's
know
what
that,
they're going to ask for, but I don't think...
but I think that's the type of guy the Jets are going to have to lose because he's another RFA that's going to go from a mil to probably 3 or 4 or something like. That's what he's going to be wanting anyway. And if he plays anything like the last week, he will.
Do you... And dealing a guy like Roslovic, the real question is, like, if he leaves, I want Vesalainen to be, like, ready to go.
And we don't know anything about him. I haven't
And
heard
that's
any
the other
reports.
thing. I think you have to make a decision between... I think it's between those two guys.
Roslovic or Vesalainen?
Yeah, because I think you have to add, like, a big piece.
Yeah, that's
and I
actually
know
a good
Line is
point.
getting a little extreme, and this is a lot more realistic, so we'll stick to this version of the script. You have to add it. You have to add a young forward because you have to get something back for Duchesne.
So
or,
what do you want the Jets to do then, Devin? If
who
you
would
don't
you
like-
rather them dump, Vesalainen or Roslovic?
Honestly, I think the fact that you've already polished up Roslovic and everything, I think you should keep him. Vesalainen does, I feel like, have like a higher ceiling, but I don't know. I kind of
You think he has a higher ceiling?
than Roslovic?
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
You think Vesalainen's got a high?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know that's what you just repeated, but I wasn't.
I think
Uh,
Vesalainen has a higher ceiling than Roslovic, but
I don't. That's hard to say. I'm not even sure. I might say
I haven't
But I feel like
seen
Roslovic's already
enough
proving it.
of Vesalainen to
Yeah.
like really make a call, but just judging off of what I've seen from Roslovic, I'd rather have
I know the hype in terms. I feel like
Roslovic.
there's been more hype about Vesalainen in terms of like the analysts and people talking about this guy not having done anything and being like I think I've seen Roslovic do a little bit of what he was projected, whereas Vesalainen hasn't done any of that yet.
yeah, exactly.
And the other another, I don't want to label the guy, but if you're picked 24th overall, do you know how many Habs picks I've seen in the 20s? Like, do you know how many of them actually end up really making it?
Weren't both of them like 24th overall? Roslovic
Well, they
and
both, yeah,
Vesalainen?
exactly.
Yeah.
But at least Roslovic's like established a little bit more than
It's
Vesalainen
honestly a
has.
huge toss-up. Like,
And I was also gonna say, you know what it might come down to is Vesalainen is signed for this year and for the next 2, so at least you can compete with him being a younger player on an entry level deal longer because Rosvic's just going to be
Done
this year,
this year.
the next, and then you're going to have to give him an extension, and you're already going to have a bunch of new deals already kicking in, like Line A, Connor. And if you can even sign Tanev, then okay, well, you're going to have to...
How
Find
much do you
somewhere to
think
throw
Tanev's
Roslovic.
gonna want?
Dude, he's playing too good.
He's playing his best.
Like, he's
hockey
really
right now.
screwing us over. Like, he's going to get 20 goals. And a 20-goal scorer, that will at least get
be 4 or
2.5. If he can play defense, too,
which he
I'm
can.
thinking.
Like-
I was thinking like 4.
dude,
That's probably going to be where
I-
his.
I
But
think
we're-
it's
but
around-
we're
I
not
think
gonna
it's
be able
around
to give
3.
that- we're not going to be able to give that to him.
I think him and Lowry are viewed as like more or less the same. The only thing is Tanev's like older and is an actual UFA.
Yeah.
So you're looking around $3 million to keep around a guy like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you open up the money to keep him, but I hope they can find a way.
Chevy's got this.
I believe.
Hopefully.
For the record, I do think they are going to get a senator. I think they're going to get one of them.
You think they will get one of the
Yep.
Senators?
Yep. And I think they're going to make the call between Vesalainen and Rosvik. I think that is legitimately what it's going to come down to, and I think that guy that they're going to get is Duchesne.
I think Duchesne's the better fit just because
Yeah,
he's the center.
and that's
Yeah, 'cause he's
the
the
bigger
center.
thing, right?
Yeah.
I-
I also like the idea of Duchesne playing with Line. Like, I think that
Really?
that could be
That could be it.
that could be like because Stastny and Line lit the shit up last
Yeah,
year when
they
he got
did.
here. Like,
Yeah, you're
I
right.
feel like that could be a
But
situation.
Stastny's a slower player though, who kind of feeds off Laine like that. Or sorry, Laine would feed off him like that. With Duchesne, he's more like run and gun speed kind of thing.
Dude, I'm excited to see what Ehlers and Duchesne can do.
I was
If they
thinking
were playing
him
together,
or even Connor.
dude.
That's a good point
yeah,
too.
Connor and Duchesne. Oh,
the best thing is like if that's your top 6 and you're keeping your Perreault, Lowry, Tanev line, which I would, that leaves your 4th line. You can pick and choose between
Roslovic,
Little,
Copp.
Roslovic, Kopp, Appleton, and Lemieux.
I really like Appleton lately
And
too.
let's say you deal Roslovic, so you have Vesalainen in there instead.
Yeah,
Or a guy like Patan, or I guess Patan would be gone in this case too, but still.
fuck Patan. Yeah, I said it.
Fuck Patan, yeah.
Fuck Patan.
So speaking of speaking
We just
of
lost half our viewers.
Yeah, exactly.
speaking of Ottawa and pretty outlandish trades, how about something along these lines involving the number 1 target out there? What if Ottawa? So the number 1 team Panarin is
Yeah.
going to is Florida.
Yeah.
What if Ottawa swoops in Mike Hoffman style and gets Panarin from Columbus, because Columbus wants to be a contender, so they can give them guys like Duchesne and Stone who keep Columbus good.
But they wouldn't re-sign with Columbus.
Why wouldn't Mark Stone doesn't hate Columbus? Panarin and Bob do.
True.
Like the problem isn't that their team's bad and that's why they want to leave. They want to leave because Columbus is in Ohio and it's Columbus.
Yeah, so why would Stone...
Or Duchesne want that?
Yeah.
Because they care about winning and playing good hockey. That's the type of
And
players
with a
I
team
see them
that
as.
has Luke Dubois, Atkinson, those guys. Without a goalie though, is kind of ballsy.
Because you don't know about Bob, but I think that's
It depends. Like, dude, there's so many things around that, but the bigger thing is I don't think Columbus can afford it. I don't see them being up to like the very top of the cap. I couldn't see them really affording it. And especially if you're signing Duchesne for that much money to play center, okay, you have Dubois, who would be your 2 then, and he's going to be up soon. You're going to have to pay him a lot of money. And then your 3rd line center, I guess, would be Wenberg. I don't think he's ever played wing. I don't remember ever seeing him play wing. And he's getting $5 million. Maybe you deal him back or something like that.
That would be a young piece Ottawa could take a chance on.
That's getting $5 million for a few more years. Like this year plus 3, I think.
I thought he
Because
signed
he signed the deal, and it was like the worst time for Columbus to sign him. Because he came off like a 50 assist campaign with
Yeah.
like a few goals.
Yeah.
He floated like around 60 points, I believe. Yeah, 59 points in a season. And he then signed a 5-year or a 6-year deal, 5 per, and he's on the 2nd year of that. So he has this year plus another 4 at $5 million.
okay, but hear me out. Columbus, I think Duchesne Stone fit in Columbus in terms of how that works, and then Ottawa now has Panarin that they can trade to Florida or whoever
I'd love
for
to see that. And
for first round picks, for prospects, for what, like, because Ottawa wants all the futures that they can get, but they don't care about on the roster, and that means Florida can stack up as best as they can and give Panarin the best 8-year deal they can give him, or Bob, whatever.
one of the big questions I had was, okay, we're gonna talk about that in a bit. Don't kid yourself. But why is everyone assuming that Florida wants Bob and Panarin and not?
It's
why,
been- it's been released.
Saying it. Talon's been like trying to talk
He's-
to Columbus a lot.
Okay, because to me, I'm not sure if is Panarin that much better than Duchesne and that much better than Stone.
Yeah. Well, Stone, I don't know, but I think Duchesne for sure. I think Panarin's like,
You have Duchesne as the third best forward amongst that group, though.
yes.
Yes.
Are Panarin and Stone both right wingers?
Yes.
Panarin's left. Panarin's a
Right.
left winger. Stone's a right, and Duchesne's a center.
Oh, that's right with the
Yeah.
bread man because Kane was on the right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
bold.
Report: Panthers interested in trade 8-year extension for Bobrovsky. This came out today.
Like told them. Would Bobby
For the
Lou be going
record-
back the other way?
Pardon me.
Sorry.
Would Bobby Lou be going back to the other way to Columbus?
I think in this case, it's essentially we got one guy who they're gonna try to retire, and then the other guy they're gonna try buying out.
Because
In
you can't-
Reimer and Luongo?
because I don't think you could really deal Reimer at the deal he's on right now. He's getting paid over $3 million, and he wouldn't be a starter on
how
any team.
old is Corpusalo?
Like 25.
And is he like
He would
is he
would
their
start.
next goalie? Like is Corpusalo going to be the next starter for Columbus?
I think that's the goal, but
Yeah.
dude, you can't just have him.
That's what I mean. Get the Bob for like 2 or 3 years, or like a year and a half,
It wouldn't
2
be-
years, and have Corpusalo as the backup, or
But-
even like kind of a tandem thing.
The other thing to consider though is that Lou, he's played in Florida
Yeah.
like for a good amount of his career. He chose
Doesn't
to
wanna
get
go to Columbus.
he chose to get traded from Vancouver to Florida for
Yeah.
that reason, and he was essentially hoping to retire there.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
And like you know what, he's been hurt like a lot the last 2 years, 3
Yeah.
years. So maybe he's got to be thinking about it at this point.
I'm really
Florida's not
excited.
competing, which is like another reason. Like, man, I don't need the money anymore. We're not gonna. When the team's trying to trade for a guy to replace me, and I'm gonna be a backup.
Yeah.
if you're looking at the goalie situation, I think it works out best if if you can get Lou to retire next year, because yes, of all the injury issues, and then you deal Reimer back to Columbus because he's got like I believe it's 3 more years at like $2 million, so that would make sense.
3-4 because he's number 34. I remember.
That's
that.
the per year. It's
Yep.
3 points,
Yep.
so it is a little higher than I thought.
That's higher than I. Yeah.
He signed. Yeah, it was a 5-year deal. He signed it just to be like
I thought
a
it was
quality, like a really good backup. Because Florida's like, you know what, we got the cap
Lou's,
space.
Lou's probably going to be hurt. That's
He
what
is-
they said.
He is like the epitome of like not a starter.
He's
but
a fringe
very
starter.
Good
Yeah,
backup.
so that's why I think him and Corpusalo working together,
Yeah,
both getting
that could-
40
yeah, that could
games,
work.
makes pretty would make sense as a
Yeah.
situation for Columbus.
I get what you're saying. The only thing is like I don't think Reimer has positive value. So I think if you add him to a deal, I think that makes it worse because I don't think he's worth 3.5. And even though they do need a goalie, that's fine. I think that the team would rather go with a cheaper alternative, like a $2 million guy.
So you got to toss in like a pick there as well.
Yeah,
because
I
they're
think,
taking
yeah.
him.
Well, you're already going to have to throw in so much to get
Oh,
Panarin
yeah,
in the first place, right? So if you're dumping a contract back to make the money work,
Yeah.
you would have to add a surplus of draft picks and prospects to make it work. But
When's the deadline?
25th of February, I believe.
I can't wait.
I can't wait.
These next 20 days are gonna be insane.
I'm just hoping Montreal makes like a couple moves. Like I don't really expect them to like really get better, but I would appreciate like one hockey trade.
One like good one that you're like, you know what? I want to see this guy wear a jersey.
I'd be okay with them dealing a winger for a D, for a left-handed defenseman.
Yeah.
That's like the one
Jake
ideal
Muzzin?
thing I'd like to see them do. Oh yeah, right. But like, and even just take like a flyer on like a 25-year-old who hasn't, like what they did with Mike Riley.
Yeah.
They made a deal and they
Yeah.
got Mike Riley and he's on the team now and he hasn't been too bad. Like if they can do something like that and deal like a cheap pick or a prospect who's kind of been like around for a bit. Like if they deal McCarron for one,
Oh,
or
yeah.
if they deal just any bottom six winger really. You know, we got like a bunch of them. I mean,
Yeah, who needs what kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I think teams still want Shaw. I think he's got like still like a decent amount of value. He has 0.67 points per game. I know that off the top of my head. Like that's pretty good. He's won a cup. He's gritty.
He plays
and
playoff hockey.
He plays playoff hockey, and people are like, "Oh, his contract sucks." No, he gets under $4 million, and he's signed for like his primetime years, like up until he's 30. It's like it's not that bad.
How old's Shaw?
Yeah, exactly. He's not that old. He's like 26 or 27.
I thought he was like 34.
No, he came into the league
Jesus.
like young. People thought like he made the Hawks as like a 26-year-old. It's like no, he's just 21.
Is he okay?
He was young when he made it with Chicago, and then that's why Montreal dealt for him. So
Oh my.
yeah, I'm fairly certain. I'm gonna.
My guess would have been
Yeah,
like
he's 27 right now.
27. Okay.
Yeah,
And he's got 3 more years after this one.
this plus 3, so he will be done when he's like 30.
30 or 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind
Okay.
of like a
30,
little
31, yeah.
update thing here.
Update.
Carter Hart just won 2-1, 40 saves,
Damn.
41 shots, 40 saves, and a 2-1 win.
Not gonna lie, I was seeing Philly as a real wild card to get Bob, because I could have seen them doing something similar.
More.
I could have seen them doing something similar to what Philly did before with JVR, like bringing back an old guy.
I don't know.
I could see them doing it. Plus, like they could literally show the freaking riots that were caused when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. It's like, yeah, imagine if we won the Cup.
It would be
Nothing like
bonkers, but Philly's actually been good recently. There's 9-1-0 in their last 10. Like
Yeah, and they do have young guys to build around. Like I like a lot of forwards on the team and young
like Nolan
young
Patrick.
prospects and stuff like that too. Like they got some pieces. They just need although I guess Carter Hart kind of makes it a little difficult. But I still could have seen them giving him like 12 million
Yeah.
per for like 3 years or something.
dude, Carter Hart's actually been really good. I'm looking at his numbers here. 15 games started, 9-5-1 with a 2.58 and a 9.21. Which
That's really
And
good.
that's just going to go up from this game.
yeah, I don't know if I
It's
would
probably not updated
it
yet.
probably it wouldn't be, I don't think.
Yeah.
But
That's his 10th win.
Probably,
potentially.
yeah.
Wow, good for
dude,
him.
he's been like
Yeah,
good.
that's impressive. Nice, good for him.
So
Alrighty.
I don't know. Did I mention this on the podcast or not? St. Louis is pulling themselves out of the hole too.
Yeah,
Like there's been a couple teams.
I'm not really surprised by that one though. If you look at their team, they were way too good to not be good.
I felt the same way about Philly. I did not think Philly was a bottom
Really?
3 team. Other than the goaltending, yes, we all know their goaltending wasn't solid, but they had like good young forwards. They had great defensive core to build around with young guys.
Yeah,
I didn't think.
I thought St. Louis was a step up from Philly.
I think Philly was probably 2 steps up from where they were, and St. Louis was like 3 steps up from where they were.
Yeah,
So
I would agree with that.
Now I think we should dive into the 3 stars as the usual for every week.
Yeah,
And
we've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
We need to wrap this
I
thing up.
think I'm going to toss out Tuukka Rask for becoming the all-time wins leader in goaltending for the Boston Bruins.
congratulations, Tuukka.
I think that's a pretty good third star, but not
Who'd
as
have
good as
thought?
not as good as
That's a
one,
shit
too.
team.
back when he was drafted late by the Toronto Maple Leafs, that he'd become the all-time winning leader for
The
the Bruins.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Good shit.
I don't know.
I think it's funny.
The fact that Kessel ended up in Boston and so did Rask, I kind of want to like look back on that whole like period.
Yeah.
That was so bad for Toronto. Like
Yeah.
Hey, but look where they are now.
now they got Freddie, and
Well, they also
they're
dealt the
pretty
pick
happy.
that was Sagan too. So if you really want to get into it, like it gets
You
gets
can really
more
dive
funky.
into it. Second star.
I'll give it to the punters. You know what? That was actually really cool.
It was a punt off.
The guys were freaking out when Hecker hit that one from the back of the end zone and punted it like 65 yards.
Yeah.
Because it had the bounce or whatever, but people were freaking out on the sidelines, and even Jim Nance was like, "That's a record!"
It was a 39-yard punt in the air.
It ended up going for 65.
Fun
but
fact,
still,
though.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a 39-yard in the air punt.
Is that fun?
Yeah, but it's all about the bounce, man.
No. Average?
No, that's below average.
No.
Yeah. But it bounced the guy.
Did its job.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Punters now are good enough that they can like angle it and like put it with top spin and shit, so
yeah,
that they
some of those-
like it gives it the forward roll on purpose.
Like some of those
Like,
kicks was like it hit the 1 yard line and bounced back to the 5, and it was like you were thinking that's like a touchback right away, but no, it just bounces back and it's insane.
punters are people too.
Who apparently don't get votes. You couldn't vote for the one like the NFL Network or whatever, like their MVP
serious?
fan voting. Yeah, Connor went on it yesterday and he like tried to vote for the kicker for Hecker, and couldn't vote for him. You can vote for the like free kick, the field goal kickers, but you can't. Not a
Not the
punter.
punters. That's
That's not
so punters
cool.
aren't people too.
But yeah, punters aren't people. Yep.
That's
Agree.
brutal.
And number 1 star.
The Winnipeg Jet, Jack Roslovic. He was first star of the week,
First star of the week, definitely
and
deserves it.
I believe it was his first career hat trick
Yep.
over the last
It
week.
was cool. And you know what the crazy thing was? Wasn't even he was questionable to play. Did the pregame skates and had cramps.
Oh, really?
So he was like questionable to actually play.
He's
and
an
then he
NHL, he's
did,
fine.
and then he tore it up. I was happy to watch his hat trick live. Good for him.
Hopefully, that's one of many
Yeah.
for the Winnipeg Jets.
I was a little
Yeah.
bummed. Dude, there was only like 20 hats on the ice. There's like 20 to 30 hats. It was hands down the least amount of hats I've ever seen
Dude,
thrown for a guy.
I
And it's
was-
like,
I
if it
was-
was Roslovic,
Yeah, I was watching it and like even on TV, it was like there wasn't that many.
I know
hats, were there?
I know
Like,
exactly why that is.
Roslovic.
Everyone brought toques and
Oh.
needed it to get home because
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
minus 30
it
outside.
was funny because
Yeah.
Sophie's older brother, who I've met like maybe twice, was actually sitting in front of me, like right in front of me and to the right. And there was a one, like the second he scores and everyone starts throwing the hats, Liam just leans over to me and just goes, "I'll give you $100 to take his hat and throw it in the ice." Oh. And we're also like 8 rows, so we are like perfect, like eye level with the glass, and it's like I could totally throw it. I could totally make it over.
Yo, you should have done that.
Dude,
And I debate about it. And I'm like, $100? Like that's
I'm like trying to think of
you're
like,
setting the line. And because, dude, the Jets shop, when there's ever a hat trick, you can buy a hat 25% off.
so you could have just been like, I'll go literally buy you this exact same hat.
Yes.
Oh, he wasn't wearing a Jets hat, but I would supply.
It's like his grandfather's hat from.
Oh,
when
it
he
was,
like-
dude, it's funny you said that though, because it was like one of those old timey hats that he was wearing to the game. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
but like, I debate about it. Like, I was like, man, this would be pretty.
That would be one of the funniest things, but like also one of the like worst things ever.
Dude, if it,
Oh.
yeah, if it was a situation where it
It's
was
a
just
comedy skit.
yeah,
That is it.
that'd be a thing.
Oh, you know what? We'll also end it on the lighter side while I was at the game. You know how they normally do like, oh, there's like a show coming to town, and
yeah.
and you guys have to make some noise, and we'll give it to the loudest tickets.
This is
I'm literally sandwiched in between Liam, who's a huge country fan, and to my right we had there was this mom and this little kid, and oh god, and as they're losing their shit, the person ends up giving the tickets to Liam, and Liam's about to celebrate, and then she goes, "Can you please pass that to the little kid that's right next to you?" So Liam had to swallow his pride and hand over the tickets to the other people, and they had brought like the noise makers that you like clap together and a bunch of signs for it, and the mom's like literally dancing right beside me. Jumbotron's right on us, and I'm just like, oh my god, like she's celebrating way too much. She was like, yeah, it was not a pretty sight. And then the second they were done, she literally just looks at Liam and just goes, "Yeah, do you want these? Like, there's no way I'm actually gonna go to this thing." And Liam's like, Are you serious? Yeah. And he ended up getting tickets to like a bunch of really good country bands.
They're not bad.
Yeah.
I'm the country connoisseur on this podcast.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
They're not.
our-
I couldn't tell you what any of them were, but
High Valley's good. I really like High Valley.
I recognized a couple of the names actually when he was listing them off.
Paul Brandt is the other one.
Paul Brandt was the one I did know.
Yeah.
That was it.
Okay.
But I wasn't confident enough to throw that out there. I knew it, but I didn't know it.
Alrighty.
Fair
well.
enough.
All right.
Follow Puck Boys on Twitter. subscribe,
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, good times.
give it a like, and peace.